Hello, my name is Jim Pfanner, and welcome to the Leather Report. This is our first show, and it's a show for people in leather, SM, kinky, fetish lifestyle. It's produced by kinky people, for kinky people, or maybe someone out there who might have some interest in this. Our first guest tonight, our only guest, I'm a little nervous, is Mr. Guy Baldwin. He's a Los Angeles-based psychotherapist who works primarily with clients having interest in or issues with leather, SM, fetish, erotic styles of sexual expression. Guy's television appearances include interviews on AM Philadelphia, the Gay Cable Network in New York, San Francisco, and Portland. He is perhaps best known for his many articles about the leather SM-related issues, which have appeared in several publications, and also in his collected book, Ties That Bind, it's a terrific book. I could not recommend it more highly. And an interview with him appears in the book Gay Soul, which is a collection of 16 interviews and photographs done by Mark Thompson. In 1989-90, he served as the 11th International Mr. Leather and the 2nd Mr. National Leather Association. Welcome, Guy.
Hi, Jim. It's a pleasure to be here.
Well, thank you. I mean, this is a lucky thing just to have you here tonight. This is a very good thing. Listen, this is our first show. Tell us about kinky people. Give us a definition. I mean, I know I'm asking you a tough one. I know I'm asking you to be very general, because there's this great group of people that are middle of the road, and then there's some that really don't have much sex or anything like that. But then there's the kinky, non-vanilla people. Who are we talking about? Tell us about it.
Well, I think the easiest way to offer a useful operational definition of what kinky people are, or who kinky people are, is that kinky people are individuals who add something into their sex life.
Yeah.
Some element or group of elements into their sexual expression that the person across the street from them doesn't add to their sex life, whoever that person might be. The elements that kinky people include in their sex lives that make us different can include a wide array of things in any possible combination. Can include role play elements, can include the introduction of fantasy elements, can include power exchange, power dynamic differences, where someone is the dominant, another person is the submissive.
The top or bottom.
The top or bottom kind of thing. Can also include elements of body stress, body sensations that most people don't think as having any place in human sexual expression. And so kinky people are people who enjoy and flourish when they add elements into their sex life that other people just don't find appropriate or interesting or useful or any of those.
There's a lot of prohibitions for the middle-of-the-road people that keep them from going to this.
There are prohibitions for all of us.
Yeah.
And kinky people are people who give themselves permission to add some or all of these other elements into their sexual expression.
Okay. Now, in the book Ties That Bind, you have a wonderful section, and it's very interesting. You talk about a second coming out, and this is an issue that affects heterosexual people, gay, bisexual, and it's a second coming out in terms of acknowledging kinkiness. Could you explain a little bit more about where you're coming from when you were talking about that?
Well, the essays that appear in Ties That Bind were originally aimed at gay and lesbian people.
Yeah.
Gay and lesbian people go through a process called coming out.
Right.
And that is their first coming out. And it usually means coming to terms with the ways in which you are sexual and you feel good about yourself erotically, and copping to that, claiming that as your own personal, individual reality. And then there are other aspects of coming out that may or may not include sharing that with somebody who's important to you, sharing it with strangers who are unimportant to you, being progressively more and more open. But first of all, with yourself.
Right.
That's what coming out means.
Right.
So gay and lesbian people, transgendered people, all have to come out to themselves at some point.
So there's a great tradition of that within
Already
that
in
community.
place, exactly.
Right.
So for the population that I was originally writing for, that was their first coming out. But discovering that a person is kinky, that oneself is erotically different, that's a second coming out. And as such, it's accompanied with all of the fears and all of the hiding, all of the shame issues.
The prohibitions of society.
Exactly.
That you can't do that. That is too weird.
Right. So for people who are already heterosexual,
right,
it isn't a second coming out. Being kinky is not a second coming out for them. It's a first coming out.
Have you had much experience with straight people with a second coming out? I mean, how is it for them? Because they really don't have a tradition of coming out as gays, lesbians, and bisexuals have.
It is often as difficult for them as it is for gay people having their first coming out.
Well, exactly. It's like last year at Leatherfest, which is a large confab down in San Diego. It was fascinating because there were secretaries from Encinitas with their husbands on, with dog collars on, and you knew that they were going back to a suburban tract. And I thought, boy, these people are really out there because they really like kinky stuff. But boy, they really haven't had a lot of experience in,
Coming out is a process that's fraught with all kinds of self-confrontation for everyone that does it. And their neighbor may be gay and lesbian. The person down the block may be gay and lesbian. You never know who's in suburbia.
Yeah, that's pretty scary, isn't it?
One of the things that mainstream middle America likes to believe is that the pervert is always somebody else.
And they're in the city. They're in the city.
They're away from, I don't know any perverts. I don't know any people who are different. I certainly don't know any gay and lesbian people. When the fact of the matter is that you don't know who lives next to you. And that's true whether you live in Los Angeles, whether you live in big cities, or whether you live out in the country on a 60-acre farm. You just don't know. Because people are private and quiet about the way that they choose to be with their sexuality, for the most part.